You can't just play defensively and hold space forever. Part of any good zoning game plan is always going to be actually, I guess, holding the space in a more aggressive manner. You can't just let him, you can't just be doing the projectiles over and over. At a certain point, you do have to like maybe jump at him, like go on the offensive suddenly. Not most of the time, right? You want to stay away from him pretty much all the time, right? But if you get too predictable, if your rhythm gets too predictable, he is just going to find the timings, roll through it, and get to you, right? There is no guaranteed way to keep this Vayne out forever. So you got to be on the lookout for this, right? Like he's one roll, right? Like you're not even firing arrows and he's still rolling. This is what I'm talking about. You got to start. It's hard to actually stop if you're not thinking about it, but it has to be one of the main things you're thinking about. Like after the very basic level 1 of I'm gonna fire arrows at you, like the level 2 is you're gonna roll through them or spot dodge them, and I'm gonna punish you for that, right? All right, folks, good one. Nice try, me out. All right, folks, we are back for more Granblue Fantasy versus Vaseraga action for you here. Some replay review. Had some technical difficulties a little bit there, but we got there eventually. And yes, this is a 41-minute replay. Listen, I'm still, boy, I sure am very behind, right? This is August 15th. You know, I'm streaming this, and it's October 8th. It's probably closer to like October like 16th or something for you YouTube individuals if you're watching this right now. Well, listen, at some point, man, I'm gonna be able to devote more time to these, but you know, for the next little bit here, we're just gonna be doing what we can, I guess. I don't want to just like skip people's replays because I happen to miss them, right? And besides, even though this is still pre-patch Matera, a lot of the general fundamentals and things like that we can give advice on remain the same. With that being said, this is a 41-minute replay, so let's get into it. Real quick, as always, notice any kind of like, subscribes, bells, really appreciate it. We're also live right now, so if you don't want to watch it like a week and a half later, you're already 2 months late on the replay. If you don't want to add another 2 weeks of backlog, make sure to come by, hang out. I stream on both YouTube and Twitch every day, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., except Fridays, Eastern time. All right, been trying to restructure High Play Matera. This is the Wall Brawl Intermediate. This is my tournament right here that Unico joined. Been trying to restructure how I play Matera, trying to be a bit more patient, allow myself to react better, while also adding some variation in how I approach the opponent and apply pressure. Still have to work on some things, but I do feel a bit of improvement. Okay, so it's like, basically, I'm trying to get better, right? Basically, I'm trying to get better at the video game. Please help me. Nothing like super specific in there. I mean, a little bit, right? Playing a little bit more patiently. Allowing myself to react better is definitely an interesting one, but we'll see. We're just gonna kind of take a look at this and see what's up. Again, this is 41 minutes long, so against my better judgment, I'm going to try and limit my pausing as much as I can here, right? Yeah, maybe even like skipping through some of the stuff like intros and all that, because God knows I could take a 2-minute replay and turn it into an hour-long video, so I'm gonna have to try and overcompensate here, right? Okay, so fighting Vayne is interesting, just because. Oh, also, is there a higher quality that we could rock this on possibly? There you go. I was like, that does not look like 720, man. That's 1080p? There's no way. It must. Wow. This feels like it's so grainy for 1080p, right? Not that 1080p is like the highest quality available anymore, but goddamn. But yeah, as far as like we talk about aggressor and defender, when we talk about zoners like Matera and Vayne, it's a little bit strange. Vayne definitely does still like, you know, he'll be better up close in your face than Matera will. So like trying to keep him away from you is definitely a good idea. Nice. The double hop over the shield is an interesting idea, certainly. So Matera is kind of, you know, at the end of the day, there are very few characters that are zonier than Matera, right? So trying to keep Vayne at distance here is a good idea. Plus, you can attack from full screen much more easily than Vayne can. A lot of his, the energy destructions, the big slams, right, are not actually going to reach full screen. Again, as usual, whenever you get hit, whenever you lose your turn, is kind of when we're going to be taking it as an opportunity to try and see if there's room for improvement. I mean, even, I will say against zoners in general, and Vayne is no exception, right? Using, like, spot dodging instead of blocking is a really big deal, right? On those energy destructions, if you spot dodge them, he's quite minus. In most cases, it means you can approach him a little bit. In Matera's case, it means you can like back up a little bit and like shoot an arrow or something with those frames that you get out of the spot dodge, right? So definitely be a little bit more careful about spot dodging the energy destructions. Oh, I was gonna say shield's interesting because I'm pretty sure, yeah, like the multi-hit arrows will just kill it. Shield does not seem like a very good tool in this matchup for Vayne. Okay, in the corner, Brave counter. Has been going decently for you so far, honestly. I mean, solid DP, sure, just guessed right there. You happened to run into it. Interruption on the energy destruction. I mean, if you're just going to be kicking this Vayne's ass the entire time, it's not going to be too much to talk about, I think. I mean, you're keeping him at bay, as you should. Nice. Usage of the butterfly as well. To kind of using butterfly for Matera just like puts up a big wall that, you know, can't be ran through or jumped over unless you have like a projectile invincible move of some kind. I mean, so far this looks, you seem very comfortable here, right? I don't think you're having that much of a problem at all. He is starting to roll and spot dodge through your arrows, right? So I guess one thing really quick is So again, I will mention against zoners, and Matera is maybe the best example of this. Rolling or spot dodging through their projectiles is kind of like, it's really good because it makes the cooldown starts coming back either when it hits you or when it completely goes off screen, right? So if you're really close to her and you just like block the arrow, the cooldown is going to be significantly faster than if you roll through it or spot dodge and let it go fly off until it fully despawns, right? So if people are doing this too, you can start to do some funky stuff where, like, you know, like if say you're always doing, like, you know, the light arrow there into the special, like the EX arrow, you can just do light arrow into nothing, and if they, you know, preemptively spot dodge or roll, people will start doing those, you know, kind of on, like, more so on preemption than on reaction. You can, like, catch them, and roll is for example, at least, it's counter hit frames the entire time, right? So you can start trying to bait the spot dodges and rolls that way. I mean, again, so far, he is starting to do that a lot more now, right? So I'd be careful about that. Okay, sure. You're not on chip yet, but you really do still want to keep spot dodging, but yeah. No, he just had a kind of a hard time making his way through the onslaught, right? I mean, not really too much to talk about there. I feel like you played that. This is a whole, again, this whole bracket run, right? So, you know, we still got a long way to go, but so far, right, this seems fine to me. Seems like you are very much playing this as I believe you should, right? You're backing up, you're trying to keep Vayne at bay. You're EXing through his shields. I'll even, like, maybe say, maybe one thing in this matchup is it seems like EX is a really good answer to shield, but maybe you don't have a ton of good answers outside of that. It's like, maybe save your EX cooldowns for when he puts shield down, but obviously those are quite important for your zoning game plan as well, so maybe not save them, but just, like, be on the lookout for it. This Vayne has basically stopped using shield altogether, so at the same time, it's not really that important. But if we're the Vayne to be using shield a bit more, I think you've already discouraged him a little. Okay, running away, trying to shoot him. He is being really belligerent right now, or he was a second ago, right? He's just kind of like running after you full speed, like full dash on ahead. Maybe you could try to, yeah, because you can't just play defensively and hold space forever. Part of any good zoning game plan is always going to be actually, like, you know, kind of, I guess holding the space in a more aggressive manner. The far L's there, for example, I mean, kind of, I like the idea, but he's a little bit too, I guess, trying to bait something out from him, right? Trying to maybe bait out some sort of approach option. But, like, you can't just let him, you can't just be doing the projectiles over and over. At a certain point, you do have to, like, maybe jump at him, like, go on the offensive suddenly. Not most of the time, right? You want to stay away from him pretty much all the time, right? But if you get too predictable, if your rhythm gets too predictable, he is just going to find the timings, roll through it, and get to you, right? There is no guaranteed way to keep this Vayne out forever. The only real key to that is being unpredictable. And part of that means sometimes, you know, yeah, Matera's got that hop. Sometimes you gotta go after him, man. Especially when you know, maybe after you get a knockdown with an arrow or something. Switch it up on him. Okay, sure. Yeah, he's getting a lot better at rolling through the zoning, right? Which is why I'm talking about you gotta switch things up just a little bit. Matera's DP is so ass. Unfortunately for you, but for you, arrow is very good and very fast. And will send Mr. Vanathan to hell right there. Sure thing. Okay. Oh, I mean, I actually do kind of like the idea of you hopping at him there, but yeah, maybe I haven't picked up on it. Maybe you've been doing it on the same timing very often, because he did that 2H like damn near. That was a really well done 2H by him. But I don't think the idea of you every now and then hopping at him is a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, that round is just kind of, you got anti-air by Vayne and then died on the next interaction when he had the meter. That was more so good by him than bad by you, I think. I don't think you've been hopping at him at like the same tempo every single time or something. At least I have not noticed that. He has kind of reacted well. You can't always get blown up for that. Yeah, so like, this is a good example of, like, you can't just run away forever, right? I mean, this is what I'm talking about, right? This guy is literally rolling, like, he's rolling preemptively. This is what you got to be on the lookout for this, right? Like, he's roll, right? Like, you're not even firing arrows and he's still rolling. This is what I'm talking about. You got to start. It's hard to actually stop if you're not thinking about it, but it has to be one of the main things you're thinking about. Like, after the very basic level 1 of I'm gonna fire arrows at you, like, the level 2 is you're gonna roll through them or spot dodge them, and I'm gonna punish you for that, right? You have to be much more on the lookout for things like this, because that is like the basic level 1 adaptation to projectile zoning in this game, is to start spot dodging or rolling through it. Okay, sure. Good interruption on those, on the air energy destruction right there. It's like minus 20 if you spot dodge it or something. So you could have even gotten a better punish had you done that, but still. Solid interrupt. Okay. Yeah, now you've got all the screen space. You've won all the screen space. Yeah, now let's start using it. Which is kind of what you're doing. Oh, good. But I gotta be on the lookout for this Vayne to be rolling through your shit, right? He is just kind of doing it over and over. Oh, he misses 2H. Okay, that's a chance for you. Didn't have the meter to convert off Raging Strike, I think. The screen's a little grainy, but I'm pretty sure I saw you with like 20 meter right there with 1 BP. This is a little bit grainy, no doubt, but it's okay. Yeah, I mean, a butterfly is also, come to mention it, right? Butterfly is kind of like a built-in option for this, in the sense that it's this gigantic vertical pillar that's active everywhere. So butterfly is a great built-in option for Matera to try and catch people for rolling, right? But even outside of that, you can just like basically, you know, normal into nothing. Don't cancel into the arrow. If they roll, just like smack them out of it with a far H or a far M or something, right? You won that set, but yeah, I think the Vayne was on the road to adapting to you. I just think, you know, the first two kind of got him, right? Be a little bit more careful about people who just start rolling through all of your zoning. They could easily cause you a lot of trouble with how you are now. Fellow's name. Engage. There you go. Let's turn this down a bit. AJR, haven't seen it. This is how you know. That's how you know I'm behind on the replays, man. I haven't seen AJR in a long ass time in the bracket anyway. Okay. Again, why'd you get hit here? What exactly went down? Oh, excuse me. Maybe if we go to this through YouTube directly, it'll be less grainy, huh? You guys think? I believe there maybe it's a chance. Maybe because it's like the inbuilt Discord player or something. Might be making it a little bit grainier. Is it better here? It might not be still. Yeah, I think it might still be a little. That's okay. Maybe this is a little better. I don't think so though. Yeah, maybe it's a little better. That's fine. So how'd you get hit here? Oh, you just jumped over your. Oh no. Oh, wait. Okay. So a lot of. So here. Okay, yeah, just kind of got preemptive brave counter, and there you just, yeah. Okay, sure. Maybe, like, just... I mean, it is tough. I don't want to say don't match on Belial, because at a certain point, you have to, like, call out gaps in his pressure and kill him for it, right? Oh, also, I don't want the... I forgot to loop the yodeling, and now we've got the Magnum Hollow theme going, which as much as I do like it, I would prefer me some Tekken yodeling brain rot right now, if that's all the same to you. Oh, or, you know, Infinite Azure works, too. I saw that in the sidebar. I'll play some Infinite Azure. That's fine by me. But yeah, I don't want to say like don't match on Belial in his pressure because like again it's a little bit disingenuous. But preemptive brave counters and matching on like plus frames after close L's and things like that is a little bit risky. Unless he's being really predictable, I'd say it's a little risky and you should be a bit more careful, right? I mean this one very in the Vayne match it was kind of like, oh, you know, I'm not sure, like are you the defender here? Probably. This is obviously your number one goal is to keep Belial away from you. It's tough though because I mean his fireball is like maybe even better than yours. This is also pre-patch before they buffed it again, but oh my lord, that EX's Modius there is I'm not sure if that hit meaty or something, but it should be -8 baseline, right? Oh, and that's, I mean, you blocked his DP right here, right? I know it's a little bit of panic probably, but like this is a full on, he's -10. This is a full on punish, whatever you want there. Okay. Oh. Hopping after him, trying to win some screen space back. I see you, but I think you're just kind of getting overwhelmed a little bit here, right? Like to the point that you're even like you're brave countering DPs and things like that. This is very much a try to stay calm situation, I think. Okay, you're actually in a decent spot right now. You have him a full screen away from you, but yeah, gotta watch out for the U fireball. I mean, he used it the first time and you beat it, so maybe you weren't expecting him to just do it a second time right away, but you gotta be careful. I mean, this is even more true post-patch, right? Belials are going to be spamming that thing left and right. You have to be a little bit careful about doing that. Engage. All right. Your 2H is air blockable too, but like it is really big, and AJR has yet to neutral jump in on you, right? If he's like actually hitting an aerial or an air stall or anything like that, your 2H probably will shoot him right out of it. So don't be afraid to anti-air him either. Again, for all of his strengths, Belial does at the end of the day have a little bit of he has a somewhat, like a very strong, but a rather linear approach. Exactly, right? He has to either run at you or jump at you, basically. He doesn't have like a riding free or something. So you have to keep him away from you. It's easier said than done, but you have to keep him away from you, because if you don't, well, I mean, you die, right? Belial in your face, especially as Matera, you're just gonna die. So you have to be very proactive about keeping him out of that range. How's this gonna work? No, yeah. He didn't spot dodge it, so he's actually not going to get a punish there, so that's good. Oh, nice. Empty hop throw. Yeah, I like the idea. I mean, yeah, so far, when things have gone wrong, it really does feel like you're just kind of just getting overwhelmed by Belial, which I can't really blame you for that happening to you, right? Far M is a bit of an interesting choice there. He is -3 after that far H, but I feel like you could have canceled into something there to make yourself plus or something. I mean, we talked about this, I think, when someone else was fighting. I think it was a Percival, maybe Yoke was fighting Belial, right? But like you get so few opportunities like this when Belial is pressuring you that like you really got to make it count. If you ever get the opportunity to actually like take a turn back on Belial, like you got to try and make it count as much as you can. So, like, even if, you know, sure, this Fire Emblem is a little bit strange, but regardless, you could cancel this into something, right? Cancel it into an arrow, get some plus frames back, maybe hop at him. Like, you have to actually try and fight for your life here, right? Otherwise, Belial's just gonna kill you. Where there, you just kind of, like, went Fire Emblem into normal, which obviously, Fire Emblem's gonna be minus on blocks, so you died for it. But, like, it's so hard to actually get anything started against Belial that when you get a chance, when you actually do get a chance to take a turn, especially as Matera, right? You really have to go all in. I like that idea right there, for example. Getting him to block some normals into hopping over him. Oh, unfortunate there. There actually is quite a bit of recovery on that Belial SBA, but yeah, just a little bit of a scramble, and you couldn't quite manage to punish. That's fine. What's going on, Kira? Hello, hello. What in the? Yeah, I guess fair enough. 2H countering his 6-6H, not something I thought would happen, but makes sense. Just didn't think about it. Okay, sure. I feel like this is a little bit Matera specific, which I'm gonna like. Obviously, I don't play Matera, and I've never played Matera, and I'm not a zoner player, but I feel like triggering your butterflies like this, like, it's actually quite scary to have both butterflies on top of you like that. This one, sure, fine, fair enough. But like, maybe keep that other one for a little bit. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's not it's not proper Matera gospel, right? So I'm gonna take this one with a grain of salt. But I feel like personally, at least for me, when I'm fighting Materas, right, what makes them real scary is when the butterflies, when they have me in the corner and the butterflies are on top of me, and I have to respect them, and it kind of limits my options, right? Maybe you just wanted to hold him down. Maybe you thought he was gonna immediately do something aggressive, right? And that's why you immediately put the wall up to try and stop him, right? He just happened to down back, so it didn't work. But in general, I need to get this fuzzy out of my system. I don't know what to do. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, DP gets baited. Sure. That is happening to you a little bit over the course of these matches, but at the same time, I mean, Matera doesn't exactly have a ton to defend herself besides her DP. So I don't really blame you. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I do like you putting out the butterfly and then immediately using the, like, this butterfly into DP like this covers a lot of the screen if you think about it, right? I'm throwing so hard trying to get this fuzzy, true. I see you. I mean, if you're learning though, if you're trying to learn it, it'll be useful later. It could be good to lose a few matches to learn it. But yeah, so butterfly into DP like this, I really do like this, right? Because it covers right in front of you, as you can see by Belial dying right there, right? It covers that jump in angle, and the shower afterwards will cover a lot of, it'll cover kind of that far away distance. It's only that middle distance that's really safe there. You put him in a big rhombus, essentially. So I do like that, the use of butterfly that way you're doing. I mean, so far, again, this I don't think it's been, look at HR literally matching even before the round even starts. What a madman. I do like, in general, I think, how you're playing so far, right? I think the big thing really is just, so far against Belial, you are either being a little too impatient on his pressure, right? Challenging in places where you probably shouldn't, where the risk is very high, or when you actually get an opportunity and you make him block something, you don't really go all out enough, right? But even you've been a little bit better about that, at least in that game that you won. Okay, nice. He's not dealing with the hop very well. Close H, understandable. Good frame trap. I mean, this is going swimmingly right now. You're on no brave points, so you could just die. I don't actually remember if this was... Oh, nice throw. Okay. It is learning, which is nice. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I will say in general, just, I mean, maybe you noticed the meter and noticed it didn't go down. But, like, just to be safe here, like, whenever you see Belial do this walk at you, either, like, stay really far away from him or, like, jump over him. And just in case it is, like, the U grab or something. There's also non-U versions of that grab you can do that don't, like, you just do, like, M or L grab. You almost never see it because they're really bad, but... It's safer in general to just, like, jump over Belial there and wait for him to fully act out his dreams, his fantasies. Okay, sure. But yeah, I mean, so far this is pretty good. I don't really... I'm sure, I mean, obviously, eventually your run ends, so we'll see. That spot... I will say that spot dodge is a little odd. It did work. Yeah, it did work, but I'm not so sure about that one. I think that's a little bit risky, right? Maybe that was a misinput, but spot dodging in the middle of pressure like that, I mean, when he's mashing buttons, you kind of got lucky that the 2M didn't overlap with the end of your spot dodge. Because, of course, the last 4 frames of spot dodge are a non-invincibility full counter hit state. If you had done a close H or something like that, too, you could have died, but it did work out in that case, so sure. Yeah, so now you're in. This is the bad place, right? I have very little advice for you here. Yeah, you guys got to find a moment to interrupt and hope for the best. Ooh, back throwing him there was definitely not good, but I think you also maybe got a little bit messed up by your own side switch there. I like the Brave counter on the Fireball. Guaranteed moments where he can't bait anything, and yeah, hold him down with the U. Jump over him if you're mid-screen, you beat all command grab versions and parry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, even though, like, you know, it was parry there, so Unico just, like, running up to him and throwing him worked, just in case, right? You can just jump over him, and no matter what happens, you will beat everything possible out of Belial's little swag walk there. Okay, so Excellion up next, sure. Fun to see all of these. Again, this was 8 weeks ago's Wall Brawl, right? So it's been a while, but fun to see all the fellas here. This is pre-patch Narmaya, so she's much more of a get-in-your-face character. I mean, even still post-patch, she definitely wants to do that too. She's a little bit better from this distance post-patch because of the Setsuna changes, but yeah. I guess one of the big things in general in this matchup is just like be aware of when Narmaya hits 50 meter, because those are really her only real neutral skips, quote unquote, are swag walk. You mean give daddy some sugar? Yes, exactly. That's what the move is called, is give daddy some sugar. It's quite the thing. Though the command grab's called Vasago, right? So they're combined, they are the swag walk. Yeah, but so we're seeing it happen a lot right here, right? Be very careful of when Narmaya hits 50 meter. Because especially in this matchup, her only two ways to like consistently get in on you are going to be U transient or U flip. Obviously, post patch U transient is different, but it kind of still same idea kind of applies. Yeah, but U flip, both of them basically, if you see them coming and react to them, they are not safe at all. Right? You can fully kill Narmaya for attempting any of her her neutral skips. So the big thing here is just keep an eye out for Narm's meter. As soon as she hits 50, you got to play a little bit different. Yeah, transient is much less safe now because it's always she attacks at the end of it, and I think is it punishable on block, or I forget. It's more of a combo ender now, seemingly. It's what they want it to be used as, but no one actually uses it that way. Okay, got plus on block 2M. I like how you're using your brave counters. Honestly, that's one thing I haven't really mentioned in like the good column. I feel like you brave counter at good times, right? There was definitely the one time you like woke up brave countered and got counter hit for it because you got raging strike. That's a bad habit that I have too. But in general, I think you brave counter on special move pressure, which is the best place to do it, right? Because you can't cancel your specials into a spot dodge or otherwise beta brave counter with it. So I'm a big fan of how you're doing that. Okay. Oh, yeah, Excellion is a noted DPer. I think you could have probably killed off of this. Just, you know, I'm pretty sure like you can get Far L into Raging Strike right here and just kill her. Maybe you just didn't hit confirm it in time. This second Far L, I'm pretty sure is too far away. I don't think Raging Strike would have worked from here. But, you know. If you lose this round, like this could have been, you know, the end of the whole first game. So definitely want to make sure. Okay, you don't lose it, but yeah, still want to make sure you get as much value out of any turns you get as possible, right? Okay, sure. Game 1. What's going on here? Ow, ow. He's just kind of running into you. I mean, if he's gonna keep doing that, it's gonna work out pretty well, right? Certainly. He's got 50 meter though, so be careful. Yep. Again, don't overcommit to anything too huge when Narm's got meter. That's what we were talking. I mean, obviously, you didn't hear me. I'm talking to you in the past, but still, we want to be careful about doing any sort of big committal options when Narm has 50, because you flip or you transient could lead to problems for you in that case. Okay, sure. Whiffed meaty. Oh, okay. Didn't quite react in time to punish the throw, but that's fine. Again, solid brave counter timings. I feel like you're playing some really good Matera, man. Ow, ow. Sure. This is exactly what we were talking about earlier, by the way, right? Being actually on the lookout for transient. You get your reward here. I'm very interested to see, you know, because eventually I imagine I don't believe, unless I'm misremembering, I don't believe Unico won this Wall Brawl. So eventually, they got to lose 2 games in a row here at some point, but I'm curious to see, because that's going to tell me a lot more about the current, like, holes in your game plan, right? Because right now, what you're doing is just kind of working. That's what I talk about a lot of the times when I mention that it's oftentimes more valuable as a learning experience to lose than to win. When everything you're doing is just working, it might not be the best thing, it just happens to be working on the people you're fighting, right? It makes it a lot harder to actually evaluate your playstyle. Okay, sure. Oh, I will say, yeah, one thing is, again, I don't want to say you DP too much. What's going on, Noctum? I don't want to say you DP too much because, again, Matera doesn't exactly have the best ways to defend herself outside of DP. 6-frame light and just in general, you know, outside of Far L, pretty poor normals for like checking people. But it definitely has happened a lot where your DP has gotten baited and you've either died for it or taken a lot of damage. So maybe a little bit more careful. I think your hit rate on DPs is quite low so far in this tournament, right? Again, solid Brave counter right there. Oh, I like the butterfly. Just catches you flip out straight up. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but certainly nice. Again, that same sort of butterfly into DP setup that covers most of the screen in a hitbox. You're using that to great effect. He's got off work, gonna head to the lab and figure out how Zeta works. I hear she's a little bit more complicated now, but quite strong if you put the work in. Okay, there you go. DP actually working out. Not bad. Yeah, you can't be afraid to use it. I'm not saying don't DP. Oh, I'm just saying maybe try and keep it a little bit more unpredictable. Yeah, unfortunate. Tried to... I assume maybe he didn't need to or mean to backdash there, but sure. Kind of got a fat finger. Quite a close match indeed. Okay, so let's see. Do you lose this actually? No, I don't want to look up. I want to look at the player and tell me. It might spoil it for me, but sure. That goes a lot farther than I thought, huh? The H. It's called. I think it's Kyoka. Yeah, maybe hopping a little bit too much in your offense, right? It is a big reactable gap where like even worst case you can get 2H straight up, right? Yeah, I think so far, like, across all the replays, what we talked about with the Vayne, right, and also what's going on with Excellion here a little bit, like, in the places where you're actually getting blown up, is, like, if there's one thing, I feel like you're maybe... Oh, it's a safe jab, I think. Yeah. Unfortunate. I think you're maybe a little bit just too... You're a little bit too linear, right? Like, in the sense that I think you have a pretty strong layer 1 idea of what you want to do with Matera. The problem is, if your opponent... So some people you're fighting, it just works on them, right? But if your opponent does start adapting to it in one way or the other, whether it's your hops on offense or whether it's it's just like the general pattern to your zoning, right? If the opponent does start adapting to it, you kind of keep doing the same thing and it causes you some trouble, I've found, right? That's at least so far what I'm kind of noticing in both, in both the sets that you've kind of struggled with so far. Outside, I mean, AJR just kind of like you, again, got put in the corner by Belial and then died, which is a universal experience, that's fair. But yeah, versus Excellion and versus Azeroth way back when, the Vayne there. I feel like you got a bit of a problem getting to like a layer 2 with Matera, right? Sure. Nice. I do like the far L checks again, though. Another missed kill off far L Raging Strike there, right? Gotta be much more on the lookout for those. You are using far L to check, as you should. Just kind of got unk check there. 24% meter on the side of Excellion, though. So unfortunate. I get layer 2 on Bubs. Oh, nice sweep. Okay, that's new. There you go. There's a little bit of something new. Right, again, it's very important to have, like, you need an autopilot, right? You need a very strong autopilot at that, right? It's actually a very important thing to have, like, just, like, a strong baseline game plan before you know anything about your opponents. But you gotta make sure you're also capable of switching it up if your opponent is, like, near your skill level. They'll probably be able to at least answer some of what you're doing. So, yeah, I think we're about to hop again there, right, for example. So it's important to, like, have, not, like, pre-planned necessarily, but it's, like, have, like, a cookbook of, like, okay, if they can deal with this, I do this. If they can deal with this, I do this. If the opponent plays a lot like this, maybe I'll do this. Right? It's not like fully scripted. Nice throw, by the way, on the parry there. It's not like it's fully scripted or anything, but just like having some adaptations in mind, possibly. Yeah. I think that's it's very general, but I think that is kind of a big problem of why you lost that game versus Excellion, right? Because you notice you won the first one. A good sign of if this is like if this is an issue that you have is if you notice that the longer a set goes on, the further you fall behind, right? Probably means that you are getting adapted or out-adapted at the very least. You are not switching up your game plan quite as fast as your opponent is catching on to it. What's going on, Morph? So I'll be careful about that because the same thing I talked about it with the Vayne too, right? He was on the cusp of figuring you out, but you won the first game and he didn't quite have enough time to get there. But, like, if we started from that game 3 and played another set, I think he would have beat you. I was goated back at S+, so true, Excellion. Once the GOAT, always the GOAT. Nice. I mean, against Vaseraga, it really is just a matter of, like, figuring out what your armor-breaking tools are and going from there. And for you, all of your EX arrows should work, and then Butterfly will obviously do it too. You gotta be very careful. The angle, so this is actually something that's very important for the Vaseraga matchup in particular that I want to mention real quick. Vaseraga has some really nice big anti-airs, but he struggles to anti-air people who go directly above him or cross him up, right? He's got answers for those, but, like, his anti-airing gets a lot more situational there. Matera's hop is, like, the exact perfect angle for Voss to anti-air with basically whatever the fuck he wants, right? M-grab will get you out of the hop, 2H will hit you out of the hop, the light stance follow-up put you out of the hop, 5U will beat the hop. be really, like, you really like using 5U, you like the Matera's little forward hop there. Vaseraga is, like, tailor-made to kill you for this, right? This hop is, like, every single one of Vaseraga's anti-airs. They all converge on, like, one angle where they can all anti-air something, and it is the exact angle that Matera hop comes at. So I'll be a little bit careful using that in this matchup. Okay, nice. Definitely would have wanted to back throw him there, but it's fine. Oh. That one, too. I forgot about that, too. Yeah, hop gets you tackled, right? Be very, very careful using hop against Vaseraga. It is just not a good idea, I don't think. This is you really wanna like keep hop as like a mix-up here. Every single anti-air option that Vaseraga has, he probably even you command grab you out of hop pretty easily with the time it takes you to land and the time you would take to react normally. What is this potato quality? It is pretty rough, unfortunately. But it seems like whatever Unico used to record this was not very good. Listen, YouTube is telling me it's just 1080p, okay? So we're having to deal with what we have right here. Oh, yeah, a little bit early on the EX command grab there. It gives it some more character, you know? It's Granblue, but in a microwave. Okay. Especially, oh, okay. Empty, again, hop. Battalions will beat it too. I didn't even think about that, right? Voss can, like, hit a random fucking button and beat hop a lot of the time. So I'd be, you know, be a little bit careful using that in this matchup. Okay, good conversion from Twi, I must admit. Ow, ow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you lose this game or not, or this set, but if you do, there really is only one problem here, right? I think you're actually playing quite well around the armor and things like that. There's really one problem here, and it is just how much you're hopping. So far, I really have not identified, like, oh, you know, make sure you don't do this against Voss or anything. You're playing quite well, and then you hop and you die. Almost, it has been every round so far. Okay, sure. Yeah, good job you want to pressure him too, make sure he can't get Soul Forge. Yeah, Rain of Arrows will break armor too, fair enough. Why are we getting closer to Voss? Also fair, yeah. Voss actually is one of those characters you can't just kind of run away from forever, as long as you have an armor-breaking move, right? Because he is just so slow. As long as he can't bully his way with armor, he's so slow that you can't just kind of keep backing up forever. Bonk. All right, not bad, but still, yeah. Just and if you're gonna get closer to Voss again, I don't think hop is the way to do it. Sure. Let's see how this goes. Matera will need to do that almost ever. Yeah, I mean, you have good tools to deal with armor, right? So I'd say unless you're like really caught with your pants down with no cooldowns, you probably want to just like hold him on the other side of the screen. If you have him in the corner and you have butterflies up and stuff, sure, right? Like off of this knockdown, for example, yeah. You can't punish you tackle, huh? I mean, post-patch will be a little bit easier if you block the first part, but that's not really how Twi has been using it. He's been using it as like an advancing super armored move, basically. Oh, yeah. Matera DP is also not a great option against Voss, right? Because only one hit. So he didn't even... U follow-up was unnecessary here. Even, like, H follow-up would have beat you. Or L follow-up or anything. It really is this hop guy, huh? This hop guy's really getting you killed. Okay, hopping over him. That's a better idea, right? Because, again, Voss is not the best at anti-airing directly above him and directly behind him, so... Why are you not zoning the boss? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, again, it all really comes down to it all comes down to one thing so far. They are zoning the boss. They're doing a decent job of it, in fact. But then they just hop at him and they die, right? Running at him, yeah, running up to him from full screen like that too, like this, right? Like again, you have to play the matchup. You being Matera, you're the defender in almost every matchup, right? You are the purest zoner in the game, maybe something like that, right? It's you or Fairy, but I think it might be you. Like even in the Fairy matchup, she might have to approach you, right? So. Especially against Voss, like when you knock him down there's no need to do this, right? Why not just keep like firing arrows at his ass from full screen, especially when he doesn't have Soul Forge, he doesn't have 50 meter to U tackle or anything. There's like no reason to approach him from here. So I think this is a bit of a so even if you win this, I think you have not been playing this matchup super well, right? Owie. Okay, sure. Yeah, you get that knockdown? Stay back, man. Stay back. Nice. Yeah, set up some butterflies or something, right? And the hops. The hops are really killing you. The hops are really killing you. I know I've said it a lot of times, but yeah, it really is. Like, if you just, like, never hit the 5U button, if you just never hop at him, you might, like, the set's already over, probably. Now, is he used to follow-upping? Oh my god, he hard read. He didn't do that shit on reaction, I think. I think he was doing a follow-up before the super even started. I mean, that's just a hard read, I guess, but still. Yeah, supering on Voss and stance is also very risky, just because of that. If he just did stance into nothing, he can always just reaction you, follow up you, and kill you, right? I think this is a little bit of unfamiliarity with Voss and how to play the matchup, which is not that weird. Voss is not super common, right? But that's mostly what I'm seeing here. Okay. I like, yeah, hopping over him I like. You'll have a harder time anti-airing that. When trying to open them up by running in, just command dash back. Owie. Oh, the cheeks. Okay. I mean, unblockable, not your fault. Literally unblockable. And by that I mean just like pretty fast and hard to react to, so we're gonna call it unblockable to make myself feel better. That's a +9 meaty there with the light battalions. You gotta stop, man. Oh, okay. I mean, that one was more just unlucky. You just kind of got your DP hard red, but I think the way this is looking, I assume you lose this. I think so. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Yeah, sure. Again, I would really only hop at Voss like when you're right next to him and you're gonna hop over him. Even then, it's risky, but at least then, you know, the amount of anti-airs that kill you goes down, like, it gets cut in half or something. It's like 5U and M grab, and that's it. And 5U only works if he has armor at that point. See, this is good. Oh, dude, what the hell? Yeah, where was this the whole time? Like, this little, like, 20-second string sequence right here? This is great. Look at this. This is amazing. This is how you play this match. Look, Voss can't do anything, right? Just shoot him with arrows from full screen until he dies. Look at this. Like, this sequence? This is so good. If you played the matchup like this the whole time, you already win. The set's already over. If you were playing like that the whole time, he's literally already dead, right? You 2-0 and move on. Oh god, dude. I've gotten so, this is pre-patch Voss, right? You got hit by this and I was like, "Oh, you're dead." Right? But no, because this doesn't wall bounce, right? It's pre-patch. Getting hit by raw EX tackle by post-patch Vaseraga is so horrifying. But oh yeah, this was before the patch. So you're fine, you're fine. None of what I'm saying, by the way, changes after the patch, right? Still just, like, zone him out and kill him. I thought she was dead, too. Yeah, I mean, again, I've been so conditioned now that, like, oh, raw EX tackle? Guess you're going to hell. But no. All right, do you win the set? I mean, if you play like you did in that last round, dude, it's done and dusted. It's easy. Easiest game of your entire life. Yes? Oh, okay. Yeah, I will say, in this matchup, you probably do want to save your EX cooldowns for when Vaseraga has armor, right? To try and deter him. Because your EX arrows, like, the two of them is the easiest way you have to break his armor. Nice, sure. Avoided the Eustace follow-up at least. Yeah, and then, I mean, again, hopping up into Vaseraga's face. Why, though? Okay, just stay at this distance and kill him, man. Oh, okay. I mean, you tackle's a problem, but even then, yeah, it's not like it's that big of a deal. He gets nothing off it if only the second hit connects like that from so far away. This is the way. Okay. The weird hit of you tackle means you can't get the combo. As always with Vaseraga. Oh, okay. Nice, he has minus there. Good. Throw his ass. Well, you win these? You win these. Okay. I will say, yeah, that I don't think that was the best played against Vaseraga, right? But again, it had flashes of, like, exactly what you need to be doing, right? You just, like, full zone that motherfucker out. Just kill him. Just keep him on the other side of the screen and kill him. And if he tackles the way that that Twy was doing there, you don't really care, honestly, because, like, even if he hits you, right, he doesn't get that much. He gets, like, a tiny little bit of damage, and he gets in your face, sure, but even that you can try to hard bait, and just by doing, like, you know, light arrow again. It's the same idea we talked about with the Vayne, right? Of, like, baiting your zoning, right? Or sorry, baiting the answers to your zoning, right? Rolling through the arrows, for example. Doing, like, light arrow, because it's very common for that you shoot out, like, you know, the little light projectile arrow there, and then do, like, one of the special arrows afterwards, right? People will start doing, you know, their rolls, their U-tackles, things like that, preemptively. So if you just do, like, arrow into nothing sometimes, you can either, one, like, hard call them out and kill them for it, or two, at least deter them, right? If they're paying attention, they'll notice that you do, like, you know, arrow into nothing sometimes, and it'll make them less confident that they know your timing. It is, again, the similar sort of through line so far of, it's a similar through line of actually making sure you're adapting to your opponents as they are adapting to you. The biggest thing in the Matera match is never let Voss get close to you, because if he does, you die. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the tackle does get him right in your face, it's true. But again, more so, I mean, in the sense of, like, even with that in mind, if you just, like, played the full zoner game like you did for that 1 10-second sequence, even if he got the occasional U-tackle, it probably still isn't going to be enough to bring him back into it, right? Okay. Also, Infinite Azure got a little bit loud. Let me go turn it down real quick. There you go. It was only louder on my end, but that certainly feels a little quieter now. Alright, let's see. Eustace again. Even though Eustace can, I mean, Flamek is good in zoning wars, certainly, right? But even though Eustace certainly can fight you from full screen a bit, this is still very much you are the defender in basically every single matchup in this video game, right? And Eustace is no exception. You do also want to keep Eustace away from you as much as you can. And again, we're seeing the rolls through your projectiles, right? With the Vayne, you never really stopped him or punished him for doing this. Let's see if you can figure it out against Sir Eustace here. Okay, sure. Risky DP, but I mean, Eustace U grenade setups are very scary, and even more so now, post-patch, so I feel you. Owie. Okay. Again, I love this, like, butterfly DP setup you do. Very nice. Covers a gigantic portion of the screen in just pure hitbox. Ow. I think you do use the hop, like, outside of the Vaseraga matchup. I think you do use the hop very well, right? We do be Marioing around, it's true. Hello, Starlet. I'm doing well. How are you? Like, you use the hop pretty well. It's just, like, don't do it against Vaseraga, like, ever, please. Or very rarely, at least, right? Not nearly as much as you used to. Okay. Yeah, against Eustace, too, like, this is... While you are certainly trying to keep this guy away from you, Eustace has enough good, like, anti-zoning tools, and he's pretty fast. He's got his own fireballs. He had that Rekka, right? Like, you are going to have to... You can't, like... With Vaseraga, we said, oh, you can just keep running away forever. He's so slow, and he, you know... It's so hard for him to approach, it doesn't matter. If you just, like, hold back on Eustace, he will get to your ass and kill you eventually, right? So, here is where your sort of, like, mixed style of, like, being aggressive half the time and zoning half the time is actually going to be really good here, right? To hold the space on Eustace and not just let him get in on you for free. And have him be afraid of you, you know, your pressure, and not just thinking, you know, thinking of you as a puzzle to solve. Like, what, you know, what time is she going to throw arrows so I can kill her? You Butterfly is quite the thing. You could have killed him off that, yeah. Does crumple on hit, but it's fine. Again, very solid Brave counter timings, I will say. Post-patch, the green nade would have killed. Because it doesn't go away on... it doesn't go away on block or on hit anymore. It doesn't go away on block anymore, right? Where it used to. I forget what other changes they made to Eustace. Again, this is why I desperately... I'm actually very happy that he's the next character I'm going to get to master after Voss. Because I desperately need to learn what the fuck this guy does. This is good so far. I like it. Yeah, keeping that like... This is good too. You've been doing this a little bit, but it's like I wanted to highlight this, right? Like holding this butterfly as like a gun to his head, basically, right? The longer these butterflies are out, the more kind of pressure builds. Kind of just like waiting for the butterfly to flutter over can give you a lot of just... Because like if you don't pop it, yeah, there's things they can do to like get around that, but the threat of you throwing an arrow to pop it is always kind of... It's always around. It's always looming over them. So I really like, yeah, the idea of just like, yeah, shooting the butterfly out and just, you know, running after it for a bit, holding it on screen for a bit. You don't always have to pop them right away. Owie. Okay. Text it the Aki way, understandable. He's not quite on chip just yet. I know you probably can't tell, it's a little pixelated, but oh! Never mind, okay, just walked into far M. Sure, we take those. Every Eustace game is a Eustace upset? Isn't he, like, good now? Isn't he supposed to be really good now? That's what I thought. Oh, okay, so this is the end of the road, huh? Against Toomey here. Let's see how this goes. I kind of spoiled myself with the player there, but it's fine. Good back throw, nerd. Again, good checks on these far L's. If it won't kill, by the way, like right here, especially post-patch where they scaled Raging Chain, if they won't kill, I do like you not spending the Raging Strike right here. But in the cases against Excellion where there were just straight up 2 missed kills, gotta be careful. Gotta realize that far L is, you know, something you can cancel with the Raging Strike. Okay, not bad. Stubby's already starting to roll through some stuff, so let's see how you adapt to this. Okay. I like the idea of, like, as a zoner, right? Screen space is a very valuable tool. The more you walk back, the closer you get to the corner where you can't walk back anymore. So I do like that you try and, you know, aggressively go after it every now and then. Oh, or parry is going to beat your DP, sure. Like, you do fight, yeah, you do fight for that screen space, which I do like. I think that's certainly a good thing. Again, yeah, love this. Okay, it's a little, maybe a little too much. A little bit too much hopping, but they're not stopping it, I guess, so why not? Until they actually stop it, I suppose. Fair enough. Oh, I assume you tried to Raging Strike here. Yeah, you did. I see the MH. Oh, okay. Yeah. You tried to Raging Strike, but you didn't have the gems. Fair enough. That happens to me all the time, too. Just in the heat of the moment there, you forgot about how many resources you had access to. You can air unblockable them out of this, by the way. That's one of the other nice things about butterflies. Yeah, it's air blockable, but it holds them in place for so long. You shouldn't have hopped there. You should have done, like, you know, at the very least a close L or something. And started a bit of a combo from that point on. Ow. Now, people are going to jump at you a lot as Metera, because your 2H is air blockable, and your anti-airs in general are not amazing. Even, like, your DP has blind spots and things like that. So you gotta be ready to capitalize on that as much as you can when you do get those nice hits. Those air unblockable situations and things like that. People do say just 2H and Metera using hop, but you rarely see it. I mean, it definitely does depend on how often the Metera is using hop, right? Nice kill. Okay, good conversion. Good conversion. A lot of Meteras do their best to be unpredictable with hop, right? If you're being unpredictable with hop, it can make it a lot harder for your opponent to see it coming. But for example, in the set against Twy, I believe, Unico did get kind of just like blown up for their hop because they did it so often. Metera is also relatively rare enough that like a lot of the basic counterplay might be unfamiliar to some people. Okay, sure. Blow out of the auto combo, fine. Again, I like your use of Far L. I do. Oh, unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, just got your DP hard red there. Again, overall, I don't think I'm gonna like mark down the DPing as like a problem, right? You definitely do DP a lot, but again, I don't think it's really. I don't think you like spam it, right? And it's kind of again, what are you gonna do, right? How the hell is Metera supposed to get people off her without the DP, right? And you do other things like interrupting with other things like interrupting with Far Ls and things like that. It's not like you're like literally and brave countering. It's not like every time you're in pressure you go, oh, DP, right? So I think the DPing is fine. It is just, you know, it's inherently risky. It's one of the problems with your character is your defense is really bad. So and you have a bad DP too. So you do have to take a big risk sometimes, and sometimes it gets you killed. I think every character is rare. I mean, like in the sense that there's a lot of characters in this game, sure, right? So like even the most common character is probably only like at best like 6 or 7% of your matches, right? But I don't know that I quite agree with that take. Okay, nice. Interrupt on the U flip. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but yeah, worked out. Doom, 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 doom. I like hungover sets in it. It seems like it's kind of the perfect angle for it. There's a lot of recovery there too. Okay, nice. Just kind of got caught putting out the butterfly there. Oh, yeah, I think a little too much. Like even outside of the Vaseraga matchup, maybe a little bit too much hop on the fully intentional side swap. A little bit too much hop on offense possibly. Owie. Got her in the corner. Again, I love the butterfly. You don't want to let it fly off if you can, but obviously you were in. You got brave countered there, right? So not really too much you could do. But I like holding on to the butterflies as long as you can, and I like that hop. I mean, so far, again, overall, I think you're playing pretty well, right? I think again, your big problems are maybe a little bit too much hop, and again, just a little too. Possibly a little too linear in your game plan, right? A little bit too rigid, not able to adapt. Yo, Toriku! Thanks for the raid, man. Hello. We looking at replays? Indeed we are. What's going on, Raiders? Doing a little bit of replay review, just finishing up a very long one, in fact, here. Ignore the potato quality. It's whatever Unico recorded this on. Doesn't seem to be working too well, but it's fine. Yasumi switches to Belial here, huh? Not liking the Narm too much. Yeah, how's your stream, Toriku? Hope you're doing well. Owie. This is... I mean, kind of just like floated down the screen for a bit, ended up in the corner against Belial. Is never a good thing. You actually fought your way out, okay. Stumi is being very passive is the one weird thing about this round. Okay. Remember when you didn't get a combo off that? Good times. I like looking at pre-patch Belial. Makes me feel better about myself. Oh, no. Yeah. It's kind of whiffed the throat. That was a little unfortunate, honestly, because he was trying to, the music is on my end, not in the video, no. So he was trying to brave counter your hop, but you just empty landed, or you empty landed and then threw and whiffed it, right? So his brave counter became a raging strike. So that was certainly, like, more so unlucky than anything else, but it is what it is. Okay, yeah, unreactable Belial command grab. The classic. Yeah, tried to jump out. I assume you tried to hop here, right? Did you? Oh, no, you tried to back jump. You tried to back jump and you got caught by 6XL. Fair enough. It's on 4. I mean, it's just, yeah, you're in a tough spot here against Belial. Oh, okay. Sure. A little, yeah, I think, especially, yeah, okay. When you panic, you start hopping even more. I see now. Like, you already probably hop a little too much, but then when you panic, you really just start doing nothing but it, huh? Oh, yeah, on the trade. All right. Understandable. Yeah, so I mean, we kind of talked about it as we were going there, but overall, I would say I don't think you were playing that badly, especially considering its brackets and mistakes happen and things, right? I think the problems, there are some like kind of larger scope problems, right, that we can talk about. Again, I think you have to realize that Matera is basically, again, yeah, Torque was saying rush down Matera Pog. Yeah. You are essentially you are the defender in every single matchup. Every single one. Pretty much. I'm pretty sure even against Fairy, I'm pretty sure Fairy has to get in on you, not the other way around, right? So you got to keep that in mind a little bit more and play this a little bit more defensively in general, I think. I think you're a little too... I like the idea of switching up, like, as a zoner in this game, especially where, you know, everyone is so fast and has so many ways to get in, right? I like the idea of every now and then, like, becoming the combat medic and jumping in on people and actually going aggressive Matera. But you were doing it almost as a default. Like, it felt like, especially as the sets went on, it felt like your default was aggro Matera, and then every now and then you zoned as a mix-up. I would say that, like, you know, the mix there has to, like, almost shifts a good, like, 20% away from offense and 20% towards defense, you know? Instead of, like, 60-40 offense-defense, it should be, like, 80 zoning, 20 aggression or something, I think. Especially in certain matchups, like we talked about. You, like, funny enough, you lost this set to Stumi. I don't think you played this horribly, actually. I think you played decently against the Narmaya, and the one round you lost to Belial was actually very, like, before the one that ended the whole thing was actually quite unlucky. You lost to basically a preemptive Brave counter that worked out, right? But, like, the Voss matchup, I think, was played very, like, not very well at all, right? Because this, and I think it's because how you're supposed to play in the Voss matchup flies in the face of how you want to play Matera more than almost anything else, right? In the sense that this is a matchup where literally you almost never want to do anything but zone here, but you just kept hopping in and getting murdered. It just so happened that there were moments where you did go, oh, right, you know, I'm just gonna keep shooting arrows, and he died, so it worked out. But yeah, in general, I would say a little bit too aggressive on Matera. Number 2, again, big picture sort of idea. We talked about some little things with matchups and things like that as we went through, right? But number 2 is, I feel like this kind of happened the whole way through, but it was more exaggerated in some of the matches than others. Again, I think you have a quite solid basic zoning game plan for Matera, or even aggression, right? Basic layer 1 game plan for Matera, and that's a good thing. That is not an insult to have like a layer 1, like a simple autopilot layer 1. That's very important, right? Especially for, you know, cases where you're coming into your opponents, you're not playing a first to 10 with them, you're playing a first to 2. You don't know how they play yet. You have to do something, and having a strong game plan out the gate works very well. But even in a first to 2, you know, if it goes to game 3, that's a decent bit of Granblue you've played with your opponents at that point, and it felt like you never really switched up what you were doing too much, right? People started to, like, roll through your arrows. You never, like, baited those rolls. People start killing you for hopping. You don't really stop hopping. So I think it's very important to not just have a strong layer 1, but also have an idea of what parts of your game plan are modular, right? What parts of what you're doing are just like, that's Matera, and I'll never stop doing it. And that should be, honestly, a relatively small subset of things, right? Outside of, like, combos and shit, right? And what parts are, I am doing this, and then based on how my opponent reacts, I may change what I do. It seemed like there was not very, it was pretty much all that you were doing was, you know, I am Matera, I do X and Y and Z. And again, it is a very strong idea at a baseline, but when you fought people who were almost as good as you or as good as you, and they started actually adapting to you, you tended to have a hard time with that. Funny enough, in most of the sets that happened, you actually ended up winning them. But again, like with this Vayne set, I really think you were only like a game away from this Vayne like fully beating your ass and downloading you, right? He started just rolling through everything. He just made a couple of mistakes on his timing a couple of times, and things went badly, right? Similarly with Twy, honestly, similarly with Excellion too. A lot of the sets that you won, actually, it felt like you were like a game or two away from being fully downloaded. Now, of course, you didn't, and you won, so that's all that matters for a tournament. But in terms of improvement, you want to have that. You want to be a little bit harder to figure out, right? And the way you do that is by adapting your playstyle to how your opponent plays. And that there's no easy way to come up with that, right? Like that is a very specific thing. But it just, if you have enough experience playing your character, which you clearly do, right? You understand how Matera's tools work at a very solid level, right? So you can figure out, like, okay, what's the answer to this? Okay, what's the answer to this, right? People are rolling. I do arrows a lot. People roll through the arrows. What do I do about that? Do I do just like normal into no cancel into delayed arrow? Do I do normal into no cancel into hop? I don't know. But you can come up with that exact Matera game plan better than I can, probably. But the idea is have a little bit of a better idea of how to actually, or at least keep it top of mind that you should be adapting to your opponents. Right? But yeah, besides that, again, I think you played actually pretty well. Right? This was tournament, right? It's a whole different thing. It's people who are very like close to your skill level or better, right? So I think considering you were fighting some pretty hard matches here, and it was also you were under tournament stress, obviously, I think you played pretty well. I have no real this was horrible. Just like, the kind of things that would take you to the next level, right? And of course, this was 2 months ago, right? Unico has gone pretty far since then, but a lot of people are like this, I think. Honestly, I think you can accuse some like really strong players of this too. I think you can accuse me of this, by the way, to an extent too, right? In this, it's slightly different standards when we talk about different levels of play, right? But I think a lot of people struggle with having a very, they always win like the first game they play against someone, but the longer it goes, the worse it gets for them. I think this applies to a lot of the player base. So even if Unico has since figured out this problem, right? I think this is something that everyone needs to think about, is because at the end of the day, fighting games are a mental mind game of adaptation, right? So if you are not playing that game and you're just trying to solitaire it, it's not going to go well for you. Right? So keep that in mind. Anyways, that I believe is going to do it. Luca, you know what? This is what makes me feel good about the fact that I'm 2 months behind on replays. Is that not everyone writes this much necessarily, but even when I don't get to the replays in a super timely fashion, usually like 30 messages, 20 messages, 65 messages, right? 109, 117, right? Usually the community will pick up my slack, which thank you very much for that, fellas. And yeah, Luca doing it pretty much single-handedly right here. Wrote a good 3,000 word essay on Matera, which I'm sure was also very helpful for Unico, especially Luca being a master Matera, probably had some Matera specifics that I couldn't provide. But yeah, that is going to do it for this replay review, I think. Hope you guys had a good time. For the stream, we're going to play some Voss and then probably play some Geef. But for the VOD watchers, hello VOD watchers, let me just send you guys on your way real quick. Hi, hope you had a good time with the video. If you did, any kind of like, subscribes, comments, bells, all that good stuff helps out a lot. You know how it be. I also stream every day from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, except Fridays, on both YouTube and Twitch, so come by and hang out. I also have a Discord. You're looking at it right here if you want to post your replays, and I'll get to them in a good 4 to 6 months, and everyone else will get to them the day they're posted, right? Then I encourage you to do so. If you want to join the Discord, link in the description, but be nice if you do, or I'll shoot you in the head in Minecraft. Most importantly, hope you had a great time hanging out today, as always. I know I sure did. There's a longer replay than I expected, but we got there. Have a lot of fun with Granblue. Gonna be a lot more coming your way, and until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace!